Hello, everybody. Welcome to tonight's FPL family here on YouTube. Sam is still trying to figure out the mic. Is your microphone working? I'm hoping it is. I think the little bars are working now. I think we're on.
I don't know. You just went, it's not working.
Yeah,
you pressed, it's live. I was like, well, what would you like me to do?
Suddenly no microphone. But I think we are back, Sam. We are back. Hello, everyone. Welcome to tonight's FPL family. I'm Lee. This is Sam. And what a week that was, Sam. What a week that was. I mean, we had FPL show. We had FPL podcast. We had Sky Sports News. We had Fantasy Football Fest. We had the big kickoff. We had everything. I mean, what a week that was, right? You taking a deep breath now? You feel like everything's going to get into a regular weekly cadence now?
Well, you'd think that, wouldn't you? But we're off on holiday. So, you know.
Yeah, correct.
It's about to go up in the air again. But yeah, in theory, now everything should get a little bit easier every game week now in terms of just routine.
Yeah, I think so. But it's a busy week, wasn't it? We had a lot going on.
We did.
And it culminated in, and we've got to share this straight away. We'll come back to ranks in a minute.
Come here, turn to face me.
What?
I don't know. You got
something on my head.
like mascara or something.
Have I?
No makeup.
Good Lord.
I know, it's gone now. It's a big black mark. Look, see my finger's all black.
Can't even see it on the camera. Okay. All right. Well, it's gone now.
It's gone now. In case I thought, can't let you go a whole hour and a bit.
Thank you for that. Yeah, thank you. People in the chat would have been like, what's he got on his head?
Yeah.
What's he got on his head?
He done there?
Well, look, awesome week. Loads and loads going on. But it culminated in Fantasy Football Fest, which was on Friday night. Friday and Saturday, actually. I think the guys held it for 2 days, but we could only make it on the Friday. But it was brilliant, wasn't it? Brilliant. What an evening. And as usual, you guys from the FPL family community showed up. We had a brilliant table.
Always.
We had, about, 8 or 9 or 10. There's quite a few of us on the FPL family table, wasn't there? Duncan bringing the crisps.
Always.
George bringing the cake.
Yeah, always.
You got given... This guy, by the way, if you can't see the Mickey van der Ven, like for the podcasters, this ain't going to work. But for you guys, you lucky people here on the YouTube video, you will see that there is a Mickey van der Ven shaped cushion here in between us, which was gifted to you by George, I think, at Fantasy Football Fest. So
look at him.
Thank you, George, for the cushion.
I think you can see him. Look. Yeah, look, he's sitting in between us. Like, if you look at the camera, look, you see him there.
There he is.
Look.
He can be there for tonight only. I'm not having him there every week, but for tonight, that's okay. Yeah, we'll accept it.
No, I want to go every week.
But we had a whole host of people on the table, didn't we? It was fantastic. And we met a bunch of people that we've not met before that were in the live chat. It's great.
And last week we said if anybody wanted to come and join us, they were going on their own, feel free. And we had a couple of people. Sean came and joined us. Danny came and joined us. And it was lovely to meet some new people and chat to them. So, yeah, thanks to everybody that made an effort, especially Steve and George and Duncan and Nicole and Claire and I've missed somebody there, Louise, who was sharing an Airbnb together.
Yeah. How did that go, guys? Get in the chat. Let us know how that went.
Yeah. I mean...
But look, there's some great photos in there, right? There's some great photos. You were on stage with Andy North talking about teams.
Yeah.
We met with FPL Trophy with Mo. There's the lovely Az and Yelena there on the left-hand side. There was T-shirts made. You can see there's a small picture there right in the middle of the image. Again, sorry, podcasters. But if you are listening on the podcast, go check us out on YouTube. You can see these photos, right? The picture right in the middle there is everyone. There are T-shirts made.
It had
of George,
Claire
oh my god,
drinking a bottle of. And you remember the Man City for the podcasters? I'll describe it. Remember the Man City man drinking Arsenal's tears?
Yes, this was the FPL family equivalent. No?
Exactly. The Patreon guys made a T-shirt of Claire. Drinking George's tears because he bottled the league from a bottle with George's face on it. It was priceless. George went to the toilets. When he came out, they were all wearing these shirts. He was not happy.
Well, look, we met a whole host of people. I can see FPL Affairs in the chat who I met.
We met them, didn't we?
On the evening. Nice to see you guys. Chatterbox as well, who's here every Sunday. Met Phil for the first time.
Yep.
I was having a really nice conversation with Phil, and he was just like, I'm Chatterbox, by the way. I was like, oh, mate. It's just a nice guy called Phil that I'd met. He's just like, I'm Chatterbox, but okay, fine, nice. So, look, awesome. As usual, Fantasy Football Fest was just a really great start to the season. There's such a nice way to kick off. We had the countdown. Of course, we had the Arsenal game. We'll talk about that a bit later on as well. We had returns from Tzolis. We had returns from Erdegaard. returns from Mr. Calafiori, which was very nice for many of us in the room. I think a little round of applause went up when the 60-minute mark went past and Calafiori was still on the pitch.
Yep.
There was an even bigger cheer when Gabriel got booked.
That was comedy. Gabriel, yellow card, everyone cheering.
Very, very good. So listen, for everyone that came, thank you very much. You made it. It was really, really good. Here we go. A couple of super chats, actually. So what was that? Was that you opening a Pepsi? It's hard to do that gracefully and quietly, isn't it?
So I always, little behind the scenes explanation for this. I always open my can before we go live.
Yeah, except today.
But today, well, we unexpectedly had our friends over for the day, and I literally about 3 minutes before the stream thought, I've got to get the washing off the line. So I darted outside, got the washing out of the line, grabbed it, put it down, sat down and forgot to open it. So sorry about that.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, listen.
Other soft drinks are available.
We've had a couple of member chats and a couple of super chats, Sam. So thank you, Duncan, for the member chat. Been a member here for 53 months, which is kind of insane, Duncan. So thank you very much. Hey, guys, quickly popping in before I take off home, have a fab stream. Also, Duncan's clearly still
Flying
at
back to
Fest,
Scotland.
or he's in the Airbnb, so he's got to go back to Scotland. So Duncan, really nice to see you, mate. As usual, thanks for bringing the crisps and the snacks. I mean, I don't know what we'd have done without the crisps and the snacks. Brilliant.
We love Duncan, and we really did miss him at Fest last year because he
Absolutely.
inconsiderately booked a holiday.
How dare you?
Over Fest, which was terrible of you. So delighted you got your priorities right this year, Duncan, and came to Fest with us.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. And Steve as well. Thank you. It's so great to see Steve again, as usual. So Steve's in the chat. Literally just got home from an incredible weekend at Fest with amazing friends and George. Hey, you mean Deanne George was not. That was unnecessary. Wishing all green arrows for the season with no bottling. Well, mate, I don't know about all green arrows, but certainly there'll be less bottling.
We should say thank you to Steve as well, because Steve.
Absolutely, we should.
Steve bought, and I should have brought it in here. It's in the kitchen. Steve bought us. He made it the FPL family Aaron Wan-Bissaka biscuit tin.
For those of you that have been here for a little while, you'll know about the Aaron Wan-Bissaka biscuit tin.
I always fall in the biscuit tin. He's back at Villa this year. I'll inevitably go back
in
the biscuit tin.
You will be there.
We had a whole tin of biscuits at Fest, branded FPL family Aaron Wan-Bissaka tin. So thank you, Steve, for that. And the quiz he made and everything else he did, because it really did make it to have all of that stuff to do. Nice one, mate. Really, really good. And George is in with another member chat. Thank you, mate. Best weekend ever with some amazing friends who've become family. Mate, did you say and Steve?
No, he did. No, he did. George hasn't had a dig back at Steve, by the way. Steve's digging George, but not back, because George isn't that sort of guy. He's just not that sort of guy.
Oh, he is.
Even though they wind me up to the max, yeah, they do, mate. That's just par for the course nowadays, isn't it?
That's what we have
par
to
for
do,
the course.
George.
So listen, very, very good night at Fest. Really, really enjoyed it. But on Sam, to this weekend's action. I mean, before we get stuck into the games, and again, if you're new to FPL family, welcome to the live stream. We'll talk about the games we've just seen this weekend. We'll talk about how our teams get on. Not a great start for Spurs, not a brilliant start for Liverpool, but we salvaged something in the end. FPL's gone, I think, okay. I mean, we've got our ranks on the screen, but it doesn't matter at this stage. We're not even going to really start looking at that until, well, probably game week 5, 6, 7, something like that. I think it was game week 10 before we did it in last season. So listen, we are where we are. I played the bench boost, which is why I'm probably a little bit higher than you. But listen, I think generally speaking, out of a pool of about 8 or 9 million players, to be 1.6 and to be 129k after game week 1, that feels like a good start.
Yeah.
Feels like a good start.
I think so. Yeah, good start. That's why I've given us both green arrows, because I feel like, actually, despite everything that went on with our 2 clubs this weekend, FPL has been solid enough to start.
Yeah.
Solid enough start.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Daniel Banks, for the super chat. His second ever super chat, who was also on our table at Fantasy Football Fest. Really nice to see you, Dan. Really great to meet you. Only a second ever super chat, he says. I hope this goes better than the last one. It already has, mate. It already has. Great night at Fest talking to Dean Ashton. Yeah, he was there. He was very good as well, wasn't he? Very good.
Lovely, man.
In actual fact, I thought, so Ed did a great job interviewing Dean Ashton on stage, and Dean was very open about injuries, about some of the challenges he had when he was going through that sort of time in his career, some of the moves he made between clubs where he wasn't quite sure about the moves. He's actually really open about it, and it's a very, very good guest, actually, really good. So yeah, I agree with you, Dan. It was very good. And the highlight was seeing Lee keep this guy, Mickey van der Ven, warm for Sam, because the benches that we had to sit on at Fest, they were a little bit wooden, weren't they? And he was right there. It's a cushion he's literally made for that job. But you wouldn't let me sit on Van der Ven, which is a bit of a shame. It was a bit of a shame.
I made a comment which I won't repeat, But I was not happy with you.
No. Scott Schrager's in, the OG. Hello, Scott. Nice to see you, mate. Good evening, Sam and Lee. Great to... It's a super chat, Sam. He just says, great to have you back for another season. Mate, it is great to be here.
Back. 10 years.
For another season.
10 years we've been doing this with you. Because, Scott, you are the OG, as we always say. You are the original.
Scott's been here 10 years.
So Scott has spent 10 years with us on a Sunday night.
What a madman, basically.
I know.
What a madman. Joseph Maloney in with a super chat. Hello, mate. Hi, Sam and Lee. A score of 61 with João Pedro to go. Great to have FPL and the Premier League back. Mate, I couldn't agree more. And I think most of you in the chat are going to have João Pedro. I think it is, what's your score? João Pedro
Plus João Pedro.
Many have got João Pedro to go.
Some people will have a Palmer or a Rodgers or a Pestra or somebody else to go. But yeah, it feels like we've all had 10 at least, like, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Pedro,
And just in general, before we get stuck into the games, did the kind of Premier League...
Stop elbowing me.
Was it... I will try, but he's in the perfect position for me to elbow him. Was it as you expected, the Premier League? Was it kind of very different? So give us your sort of general macro thoughts before we dive into the games.
No, it wasn't what I expected at all. I think a lot of the things that I thought might happen this weekend didn't really. Like, I expected comfortable wins for both the Manchester sides. Didn't get either.
Yeah, we certainly weren't expecting Hull to beat United, were we? No doubt.
No, neither of them. And even the Man City game, not comfortable by any stretch of the imagination. Yeah, they might have got the 3 points, but not comfortable.
Yeah.
Was expecting a comfortable performance from Arsenal. We did get that. But there was a lot of kind of games that I thought would be... I don't know. Like, I didn't expect Hull and Ipswich to win in the opening weekend. I expected them to find it a bit tougher. I did think Brighton might beat Villa, but not in the way that they did.
Yeah.
I thought they might struggle in front of goal.
What do you think of the overall sort of quality of the football? I think it's taken a bit of time to get going. Personally, I didn't think there was a lot of. I didn't think there was a lot of high quality football on show. Arsenal apart, I thought Arsenal were very good. We'll talk about them in a second.
Yeah.
And I don't think Coventry really put up too much of a fight for an Arsenal team that have very much started the season in the groove, no doubt about it. But the general quality of the football that I saw, I loved it being back. I loved watching football again all weekend.
Sure
it was brilliant.
Liverpool were on.
No, that was a tough watch, to be honest with you, from a Liverpool perspective. But the quality of the football wasn't that great. It feels like it's going to take time for the teams to get going. There's been a few managers that have said that already. I remember a couple of weeks ago, Glasner talking about it's going to take time. Iraola said it's going to take time. There's a bit of World Cup maybe hangover going on. I don't know. The one thing I will say was, didn't see as much VAR intervention as perhaps we have seen in previous years.
Prefer that.
That's a good thing. Long may that continue going into the season. But yeah, generally speaking, it felt like it was if not a blockbuster start, it was it is easing us all back in as FPL players.
I sort of understand that in terms of the quality of the football, but I did think it was quite a blockbuster weekend given some of the results that we've had. The season started with a bang, kind of. And I'm here for that.
Yeah, all right. Well, very good. One thing I do want to say, Sam, before we get into the games, is a massive shout out to everyone that's joined us over on Patreon on pre-season and during Game Week 1. We've had loads of people come and support the channel. So, listen, thank you very much. Whether you've come over and just checked us out, started an account and just started following us at the free tier because you want to listen to the Ohana podcast, totally cool, right? Welcome along. We'd love to have you along on the free tier Patreon. And then many of you, those of you that might have been free tier last year, have upgraded into either the Slack tier or most have gone into the Manager of the Month tier. So not only do you get access to the Slack where we have all of the familiar names that you can see here in the live chat are also in the Slack chat. So Slack is a bit like it's an app on your phone. It's like a collaboration tool that we both use in our day-to-day job lives, actually, right? But we also use it to talk to the Patreon community. It's a bit like a chat room, basically. It's like a Twitter, but nicer, right? It's nicer with people you know and FPL only, right? Yeah. So you get access to that. You get access to our monthly Manager of the Month competition as well. So every month I will take everyone's scores. Whoever gets the best score for that month then wins a prize. You win a football shirt, right? And even if you have a bad month, doesn't matter. We reset. We go again in September. Can win something in September. And we've also had a few people join us at the Zoom and the all-in tiers as well, and people upgrading to those tiers. So listen, Patreon has just been it's exploded over the last couple of weeks, in particular, as we lead into the season and people want to speak to us about their teams, what they're thinking. They want to take part in the competition. So anyone that's been over to patreon.com/FPL family, links are in the description below. If you're joining us at the free tier, welcome along. If you're supporting the channel with the £3 or the £5 tier, with the Slack the Manager of the Month tier, welcome along. Really, really great to have you as part of the community. Really, really great indeed. So that's Patreon. Do we want to get on to the games, or would you like to talk about Footium, or would you like to talk about our moonwalk? We've got a few things to cover before we get into the games.
Let's do Footium and then the games.
Footium, and then we'll do the moonwalk later. Okay,
yeah,
so
Footium are kindly sponsoring our stream again tonight. Those of you that have been here for a while, or indeed were here for our last live stream, will know that I really like the Footium game. It's something that I don't... Lots of people come into our email address, or they message me on Instagram and they say, can we do a deal with you? Will you do an ad for this or an ad for that? And I am notoriously difficult to get to do something because I am quite picky because I love you guys and I don't like to sell you something that I don't genuinely like myself. And Footium is a game that
we are quite picky about promoting stuff here, aren't we? Like, we get approached by a lot of gaming companies, a lot of betting companies,
I won't do any
and it's
of
like,
it.
don't really do that, so what's the point?
I won't do anything that's going to harm anybody's pockets or be gambling or doesn't fit the kind of family nature of this channel.
Yeah.
But the Footium guys I really like, and they messaged me and they said, look, we're doing this game, it's completely free to play, can you have a look at it and see if you're interested? And I was like, okay. And I had a look at it and I thought, do you know what, I actually like this. This is the sort of game I feel like I could play with Max, and that is the sort of thing that then feeds into my desire to then do it. So for those of you that haven't played Footium before, it's a browser-based football game. Think sort of Champ Manager-y style, except you don't own a Premier League club. You get given a choice of your own team that you become caretaker manager of when you get hired, effectively, when you take that team. And you are responsible for coaching the team. You are responsible for developing the academy. You are responsible for building the stadium up and increasing capacity. And you basically play matches once a day over the course of the season. Now, Footium are heading into their 22nd season. And it's a really, really fun way to play. You get 2 seasons completely free. You do not have to pay anything to play for 2 years. And it's just a really, really fun game where you get to be the manager of a football club and have fun with it. So, yeah.
Is it fun?
It's fun.
You've mentioned fun a few times. It's fun.
It is. If you can play it with your kids, you can play it with each other. The patrons play it together. We played it together a lot during season 20.
People are in the chat saying, is it too late to start Footium now that the season's kicked off?
No, I think the team...
So you're not?
I think you can still do it now. I think the team that you inherit or that you hire basically will have sacked a manager and then you effectively... So they will have played in the league that you get added into. So no, I don't think it's too late. And the seasons roll around. There's like 1 season a month, so they come around quite quickly, which is good.
Very good. All right, there we go. Footium. Links in the description below. Give that a go. It's fun. Says Sam from FPL Family.
It is really good fun.
Sam, let's get into some of these games then. Let's talk about what we saw at the weekend. Okay. I think we should start here. I mean, this is the game, Arsenal 3, Coventry 0, that was on at Fantasy Football Fest. If we weren't impressed with Arsenal's performance against Manchester City in the Community Shield, which I think we all were, how impressed were you with Arsenal's performance here? And in particular, I'd like your opinion on the 6.5 options that we've got at Arsenal. Because I was very impressed with Christian Tzolis. I thought he was very good. And, of course, Ødegaard gets the goal as well. Saka, of course, now is on radar because he gets the goal. There's there's a lot of options at Arsenal. And with Aston Villa up next, who just got pumped by Brighton.
Gosh.
It's like, that's Villa away in game week 2 was one of the reasons maybe we didn't go treble Arsenal in game week 1. Certainly I certainly did. We've got to see what Chelsea look like because Arsenal got Chelsea in game week 3. But all of a sudden, going to Villa Park game week 2 does not look like a fixture where you'd want to just be doubled up. You want the treble now.
So there was a lot of things you asked in that. Was I impressed with Arsenal? Yes. Am I going overboard with it? No. And I'll tell you why. I was expecting to be impressed by Arsenal.
Yeah.
Because they were very good in the Community Shield. They played very, very well against Manchester City. Now, say what you want about how Manchester City have played under Maresca so far, But they are a team full of really, really good players. So for Arsenal to put in a performance like they did against Man City in the Community Shield meant that I had very high expectations for Arsenal heading into a game at home. The first time they've played there as champions in a proper competition against a newly promoted side.
Yeah.
They didn't let us down, for sure. They were very impressive. But I do think we have to just remember it was Coventry. So, fine.
Mm.
The second question you asked is about the 6.5s. I kind of think it's probably better for me to throw that one back to you because you've had Tzolis for weeks in pre-season.
I had him before he was cool. Yeah.
Yeah, you did. And then he got cool. And then you decided you didn't want him anymore and you were going to get Odegaard instead. So talk us through that, because that was quite a last-minute decision on Friday, right?
It very much was, yeah. So anyone that listens to the Ohana podcast on Thursday, yeah, Tzolis was locked in, right? And I looked at my team on Friday and then again on Saturday morning.
No, Friday.
Friday, sorry, yeah, just Friday morning. When did we do Sky? Friday morning. Yeah.
Friday morning.
So coming back, so I did the Sky thing, or we were going to Sky, and I just thought, where's the fun in this team? I've got a very template team, which is totally okay. And I've been saying all pre-season that I'm going to be pretty template because I think there's going to be there is a lot of change in the Premier League, a lot of new managers. Yep. I think it's going to be really hard to call. Results like Hull 2, Manchester United nil are going to happen, but we're not going to know when it's going to happen and when. So let's play safe. But I looked at my team and I just thought, it is really safe. And I looked about 3 or 4 weeks ago and I thought, well, Tzolis, no one's got him. He's only 3.9 at the time. And I thought, well, he's the bit of fun in the team. Okay. And I fancy him to do well. But it got to Friday and he's at 22% because, of course, he got 2 assists in the Community Shield. So then I looked at Odegaard, who was the same price as Tzolis, right? 6.5. And I think a few people were kind of overlooking his performance in the Community Shield, and in particular, overlooking some of the comments that were made after the Community Shield about, well, are we seeing... There was a lot of Arsenal narrative about, are we seeing the Martin Odegaard we saw from a couple of seasons?
When he was excellent in FPL.
When he was fantastic in FPL, absolutely. And of course, I understand why people didn't necessarily go there immediately, because is there a risk of rotation? Well, I suppose you could say yes, given the personnel they've got. But again, that narrative coming out of the Community Shield, he's our captain. We want him in the team. I'd also watched him and Haaland and the other guys in the Norway side in the World Cup have a pretty good World Cup. They were great. Right, very good. So I'm thinking, okay, I'm willing to put a few chips on the Odegaard is back thing. Okay. And the thing that swung it in the end, and we ended up seeing this play out in the game, was that Odegaard is so involved with the play, right? He's central to everything they do. He's always key passes completed. It's good. He wouldn't say he's a DEFCON monster by any stretch of the imagination, but he will put in tackles and all the rest of it, and he'll chance create as well. And he rarely gives the ball away. So if he does do anything in the game, be it assist or a goal, got a pretty good chance of bonus. And in a game where Arsenal have kept a clean sheet, and Calafiori's got an assist and White has got an assist, you would immediately go, well, those guys get the bonus, don't they? And actually they did. I think White got a bonus point. I think Calafiori might have got a bonus point as well. But no, I don't think Odegaard takes top bonus. He takes 3 bonus because he gets a goal, and in case he gets a clean sheet as well. So anything he does, he's probably going to be in and around the bonus. Now, Tzolis, I thought, and by the way, is a brilliant debut. I thought it was electric, by the way, Tzolis. And I was uncomfortable in my seat, except when I was sitting on the cushion at Fest, watching Tzolis, having not in my team. And when he gets the assist, I'm just like, oh, I've made a mistake here. I've made a mistake. This guy's really, really good.
Yeah, and I felt that in you.
Yeah.
You were sitting next to him.
I thought he was fantastic. So anybody that's thinking, oh, well, Odegaard scored, so I've got to make the sideways move, don't do that. Tzolis is a great pick. Just keep him. If anything, I'm thinking, how do I get him in as my third Arsenal? But he is what I would call a kind of risk-taker player. He gets the ball, very direct. And if he beats his man, Arsenal are in. And he will get a lot of assists like that this season. And I'm sure he did get a lot of goal involvements at his previous club last season.
He did, yeah.
But, and I'm not comparing him to Salah. This is not me comparing him to Salah. But Salah does the same thing. And Salah gets the ball, and in previous seasons was very direct. And if he beats the man, great. But if he loses the ball, it can happen. And the rest of the team just say, that's okay. And the manager says, that's okay. because I want him to keep taking on his man, because when he does beat his man, we're in. And Tzolis is like that sort of player. He will lose the ball a lot. When he beats his man, great, but he will lose the ball a lot trying.
Yeah, but you're not losing points for being tackled anymore in the bonus point system either, so that's less of an issue.
Okay, but it's also not. He's not completing his dribbles, and he's not his pass completion. He doesn't pass it; he gets it, takes his man on every time. So his pass completion rate is less than someone like a Ødegaard. So the point of the narrative I'm trying to spin as a Tzolis non-owner is, I think personally of the two, Ødegaard is just that level above, because I think when he does get involved, he gets the bonus, whereas Tzolis doesn't because of the style in which they both play. But that is by no means saying that either of them are bad players. They are both brilliant picks, and I want them both in my team. I
wasn't uncomfortable watching Ødegaard, but I know I would have been uncomfortable watching Tzolis if I didn't have him.
Yeah.
And I think that...
And Ødegaard's goal was a bit fortunate, let's be honest. It kind of double deflection into the goal.
Yeah. And there weren't any moments in that game where I was thinking, I wish I'd done the opposite. What I was thinking was, I'm really glad I started the season with Tzolis and that I watched the Community Shield, because I didn't have him until that moment, and I hadn't even really considered him until that moment. But I was watching it thinking, I'm very happy to have this guy in my team.
He looked electric, by the way.
And it wasn't
really good.
And that wasn't because I didn't think Ødegaard looked good. That's not what I'm saying. But I wasn't watching him thinking, God, I've made a mistake here.
No.
It's fine.
Okay. What about the defenders? What about the Calvert-Lewins and the...
Because I was looking at Saka thinking...
Okay.
I want you. So, and I think that's the point, is that like you just said, would you double up? I can see why you would do that double up, because you don't have Tzolis, who was, as you said, electric.
Okay.
But I was looking at it thinking, well, if I now have a choice between Saka and Ødegaard, now, all right, we're talking 3 million price difference.
Yeah.
But I was super impressed with Saka.
Okay.
And I just think that I can see myself, obviously not right now, because Manchester United have got Ipswich in game week 2, but I can see a Bruno or an Mbomo to Saka happening relatively soon. If Manchester United don't perform next week.
All right, we'll discuss Man U in just a second, and the Arsenal defence, but we'll do Coventry as well. There's loads to discuss. The
Arsenal defence, I think you could take your pick, couldn't you?
Yeah. I missed a super chat. Let's go back to that. FPL Climber. Thank you for the super chat, FPL Climber. Hey, glad United...
That's Andrew.
Is it? Oh, yes, It is. I can see the picture. There we go. Yeah, he's not the rubbish FPL player anymore.
No,
that's good.
He's climbing in FPL
He's
now.
climbing. Very good, Andrew. Very good. Nice to see you as well on Friday. Hey, glad United match wasn't on Friday. Yes, mate. Sam was glad was not there on Saturday. Hard seats at Fest. Could have done with Mickey Cushion to sit on. Well,
Andrew, please.
Next time we should all bring cushions to Fest, I think is the lesson we've learned from that. Nice comments about United, Andrew. We're absolutely going to come to them next. Do want to finish on Arsenal and Coventry, though. So Saka, yes, is in thoughts, but hard to get to. Defensively, you're saying you're taking your pick and you're just sort of going with whoever, right?
Yeah, I mean, look, we had Coventry. They were very solid against Coventry. Coventry didn't have a lot in the way of going forward, but, they were solid. They did their job. Calvert-Lewin attack at will, it feels like. Ben White looked good again, to be fair. Like I thought the defence looked good.
We didn't see much threat from Gabriel at set pieces.
No.
As much.
No, we didn't.
Not saying it wasn't there, just didn't see it as much.
I felt like Coventry know that Gabriel is their big threat from set pieces and decided to try and do something about that threat.
Would you not think every club's going to think that, though, this
absolutely.
season?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do. I don't think Gabriel's worth 8 million.
Plus, we've got this new rule, haven't we, in the Premier League this season, where the refs are going to be clamping down a little bit on the tussling, let's call it, I guess, or the grappling, the holding in the box from set pieces. I don't think we saw that rule get implemented, from what I can remember. I need to probably watch a bit more detail from some of the games that were not on live TV here in the UK, but certainly didn't see that rule kind of being implemented. But it wouldn't shock you if, that was a big part of Arsenal's game last season, wasn't it? It was kind of set-piece threat and tussling in the box. If they're going to clamp down on that a little bit, and teams are going to be more savvy about Gabriel, listen, of course he's a good pick, it's Gabriel. But
is he 8 million?
Well, and it's the question, over the others, right? I mean, yes, we're going to have some Calafuri and some Ben White rotation at some stage. But for now, it's totally fine.
Well, yeah, and we've got the Ezri Konsa thing to add into the mix now.
Yeah,
that's
of course.
Official. You know, a bit like Isak with you last year's had no pre-season at all, so would expect a little bit of time to bed in there. But that's obviously going to have an impact on probably Mascara and how that plays out. So, yeah, we do have to watch it out and see what happens. And also, I don't feel like... I almost feel it would be a waste to double up on the Arsenal defence right now, given how good they looked in attack and...
Strange that, isn't it? Because we kind of sat here last week and we just went, well, I'm not sure about the Arsenal attack.
Well, I know, but... And we should caveat this with, of course, it was Coventry. But then we watched Brighton today. Absolutely. A Brighton side that we didn't think could score goals smash Villa up. And they've got Villa next week. And then after that, they've got a Chelsea side. Now, we haven't watched Chelsea yet, so we can't really comment too much on Chelsea. But historically, Chelsea haven't been great defensively. So Arsenal could score well in that one as well. I'm just looking at the next few weeks and thinking, all I can see on the horizon is goals for Arsenal, which, you're absolutely right, is a massive change around in how I've traditionally looked at Arsenal. Because in the past, I've been thinking... Well, I'd rather have the double up of the Arsenal defence because I know where I am and they're really solid and they keep clean sheets. But right now I feel like, well, I've got a really attacking defender in Calvert-Lewin. I've got Tzolis who looks really dangerous. And if you want me to pick an extra to go alongside, I feel like I want another attacker.
Konsa's just a gift though, isn't he, at 4-5? He's just there.
But how soon is he going to be right there? It's like I said to you on the Ohana.
Quite soon.
How soon? No, really?
Yeah.
No pre-season? Already,
well,
right there.
I don't know. I think he's going to be. I think he's going to be nearly
straight away. It's going to be 2 or 3
in.
weeks, surely, before he's really right there.
And what about Havertz as well? Option.
This is the one part of the attack that I'm really not sure about because Gyökeres is right there, and I listened to Gyökeres. He came to Premier League kickoff on Tuesday, which I was at. And he spoke about how he is ready and the team are ready, and he's really excited to get going for the new season and all this stuff. And so then when he didn't start, I was a bit like, that's interesting. But surely there's rotation around Havertz and Gyökeres. So I don't know. I don't feel like you can really go there.
Yeah. All right. Very good. Coventry, very quickly. I mean, there will be a lot of FPL managers that are considering the bench boost in game week 2.
Yes.
That have... I can't think of a better phrase than loaded up, but we'll have Coventry assets in their FPL team, probably bench them for this week away at Arsenal, rightly so,
yep.
And then I'll be rolling them out for bench boost game week 2 against Hull.
Yes.
I mean, if you have taken that as a strategy, you're sitting a bit uncomfortably with that, aren't you, after Coventry losing to Arsenal? I mean, that makes you feel a little bit less comfortable, but also the Hull result against Manchester City, United.
So I don't believe that what happened in the Arsenal game will have actually made a difference to what people think about their Coventry assets. Like Bobby Thomas picked up DEFCON in this one.
Oh, did he? Okay.
Yeah, it was a late one as well. Like I think a late addition to the thing. So I think most people will look at that and go, well, I wasn't expecting them to keep a clean sheet against Arsenal. That's fine. He already got DEFCON. Fine.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the Manchester United Hull result will make people just go, oh, I wasn't necessarily expecting Hull to perform like they did against Manchester United. But then most people will go back to the narrative that these two know each other well. They played out 2 0-0 draws last season in the Championship together. So yeah, I think if you've gone Coventry and you've got a bench boost strategy, I wouldn't let this result necessarily put you off.
All right, well, let's move on to Hull 2, Manchester United 0 then. Some people are just saying your audio sounds a little bit weird. I think it's just because you're not talking into your mic. If you can move the mic up a bit closer to where you're talking, that'd be great. That'd be awesome.
It doesn't stay.
Okay, well, leave it where it is then, that's fine. I'd rather have it a little bit weird than not work altogether.
Because I think otherwise it's going to fall in my lap. I'll try and sit a bit closer to it.
Okay. Hull 2, Manchester United 0, then the lunchtime kickoff. I mean, where do we even start with this? I mean, let's do Manchester United first. I thought the body language was all over the place. I think after the first goal as well, when the first goal goes in, I was expecting to... I don't know why I was expecting to see, because... I don't know if we always saw it last season, but I was expecting to see a bit of a, come on, lads, okay, we're 1-0 down away at Hull on the opening day of the season. Come on, all right, no problem, this can happen. Let's get back into it. But the body language was just a bit slumpy-shouldered. It was a little bit like, and even the kind of like, I don't know, what do you make of, again, I'm chucking loads of questions at you, but what did you make of the whole kind of like Rashford on the bench, but I'll play Dorgu left wing instead, right? It's like, Here's a guy they bought in to be, I think, a left wing back, and they're playing him over Rashford on the left-hand side.
I don't think they could necessarily start Rashford, could they? I just don't think they could. I honestly don't believe.
He also does what a come down for Rashford, by the way. Like rolling out of the new camp to
come on and try and save the game.
Can you rescue this game at Hull? It's like bloody hell. No wonder he was a little bit down in the dumps.
But I'm also like thinking about it from a neutral perspective here, or putting it into my own terms. If that was Spurs and we'd had a player that for like years and years and years had wanted away, and then didn't get the move to Barcelona because they took Anthony Gordon instead. So then has to come back because no one else has come in for him. I think I would be fuming to see that guy named in the starting 11 because it's been blatantly clear that he doesn't really want to be here. So I if that happened in my club, I would have been like, I don't want you in my
You're not welcome
11.
back.
You're not welcome here.
Yeah.
And you
bit
got
Romero stuff, right? Yeah.
Exactly. If this had been Romero, that I'd have been the same thing. Yep. Prove you want it. So I sort of understand why he didn't start him. I completely understand why he didn't start him because I would have done the same. I was really surprised by the Manchester United performance. Not defensively. I've been saying all pre-season I didn't want a Manchester United defender because I didn't think they keep clean sheets.
Do you know the one thing that really surprised me about... Well, not really surprised me because we have seen it before. It wasn't like a shock. But like they were doubling up on whoever was playing left wing all game, right? If it was Dorgu, Hull were doubling up on Dorgu, or they were doubling up on Rashford. I remember when Carrick brought Rashford on, I just thought that's not the fix, right? Because they're doubling up on whoever's playing left wing. But the reason that they could double up was because like Luke Shaw doesn't overlap, he doesn't underlap, he doesn't any lap. It doesn't anything. And there's one occasion in the second half where he overlapped Rashford. Rashford played him the ball and he won a corner. All of a sudden they got a set piece, which we know they're dangerous from because of Maguire, all the rest of it. It's just like, dude, get on your bike. Like, I don't care if you overlap or underlap. Just do something to help your winger. But he just doesn't do it. So I for a while now, I've been thinking, oh, well, Shaw played 38 games last game week. He's a pretty solid left back. What are you moaning about, Man United fans? But I think when you watch other teams' fullbacks and what they add to the attack in terms of shape and style, I can now, and maybe because he's more of an FPL conversation alongside Maguire going into game week 1, maybe I watch them a bit closer than I normally would. But I can see now what Man United fans are saying, right? Luke Shaw, they need another left back that's more dynamic than Luke Shaw, 100%.
I think there were a lot of issues in that Manchester United game. The defence didn't shock me. It did not shock me that they conceded because they do concede. We've seen that all in pre-season. We haven't seen it. We have seen attacking returns from Maguire, which is why I said in the last few pods before the season started, if you want to go Maguire, I don't hate it because he will get attacking returns, but I wouldn't have Shaw because he's just going to get you 2 or 6. But most weeks it's going to be 2. But this performance shocked me because... Let's be real, Hull weren't that good. They played...
Oh.
No.
Oh.
No. They played...
Hull were very, very good.
They were organised and they played well. But they weren't that good. And they won't...
Okay.
And they won't beat... I don't think they'll beat Coventry next week.
Okay. Sure.
I might be wrong, but I don't think they'll beat Coventry.
I thought they were excellent, Hull.
I think they started off like a train. And in the first 25 minutes, they were really good. And they played really well. And I think Manchester United didn't know what to do because they weren't expecting it. And then they never really got back into it. And then they were just kind of... They were nothing for the game.
I agree with you that United were bad. Let's just leave that there. You can't say that Hull weren't any good. Like,
I didn't say they weren't any good.
Defensively, they were, I thought, outstanding. No. Then the centre-halves get the goals.
No, listen to what I'm saying. I'm not saying that they weren't any good. I'm just saying I don't think they are as good as that scoreline. Like, if you haven't watched that game and you read that Hull have beat Manchester United 2-0, your immediate thought was Hull must have been excellent. They were good, but they weren't that good. It was that Manchester United were that bad. And that's the point I would make.
All right.
Like, in the same way that...
I disagree with you. I thought they were really well organised. I thought the midfield, in particular, they bossed a midfield that's got some senior players in it, including Bruno Fernandes, and they completely bossed it, Hull City. I thought they were very good, and I was surprised. Right, there was no one more than me. I was going into that game with Bruno Fernandes and Maguire.
You were trebled up.
And Mbeumo, right? So I am not backing a whole win, right, at all. No. And I'd looked at some of the stats from last season. There's a whole load of stats about how they were like 22nd for XGC in the Championship last season, conceded a ton of goals, lucky to be up. I bought completely into that narrative. So when watching that game, and I haven't pored over the stats yet, but just watching that game, because it was on TV here in the UK, I'm like, well, they're bloody organised in defence. The midfield's absolutely bossing it. And they've got Ollie McBurney up top, who, frankly, I was quite impressed with. Because he holds it up and he battles and he was a shithouse. He was hard. He was just difficult and a nightmare to play against. That will win them points over the course of the season.
Absolutely. I'm not saying they were bad. I'm not saying they didn't deserve to win the game. I'm just saying, don't go thinking that Hull are brilliant. That's what I'm saying. This scoreline makes you think, oh, I should go and buy a Hull player. I think this had more to do with the fact that everything you just said about them is right. They were organised. They were defensively excellent. I thought Mendy in particular was brilliant. I liked Ollie McBurney. I said in my video...
You are backtracking here.
No, I'm not. I said in my video that I put out on the Premier League channel that you can see if you go on the app, that I thought Ollie McBurney, if you want to save 0.5 on your 6 million forwards, go there. But I think partly it was because Manchester United were awful.
Okay. So what are you doing about Manchester United now then? Because Ipswich at home up next. I don't think you can sell them ahead of that, can you? But they're under a lot of pressure now, right? They've got to win that game.
They were appalling. They were absolutely dreadful in this game. There was nothing about Manchester United that I liked. Not one thing that I liked.
Okay.
But I can't sell them because they've got Ipswich up next. Now, Ipswich actually were quite good as well. It scored a lovely free kick. But you can't sell a team ahead of a home game against Ipswich. So they have to stay for one more week. But that isn't because I was impressed or because I want to keep Mbeumo or Bruno. I don't really. But I am prepared to stick by what we said at the beginning of the season, which is this team have got two newly promoted teams in Game Week 1 and Game Week 2, and that is why you double up or you triple up. If we get to the end of next week, if this time next week they haven't returned against Ipswich, they become really easy sells for me, regardless of the rest of the fixtures that are coming, because there are other teams that really did impress me this weekend.
It'll be really interesting to see what happens against Ipswich, because I agree with you. I think unless we get not just a result, I mean, they can get a result against Ipswich, of course they can at Old Trafford, but
it has to be a really impressive performance.
We want to see the performance, don't we? We want to see the performance as well, and the body language change and everything else, right? I mean, they could win 2 or 3-0, but if they're lucky and it's a couple of pens or something, but I want to see a performance. Then if we don't see that, then it's mass sales in Game Week 3. It's Everton away, Man City, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then the Man City game I think is at home, but then it's like Fulham away. We haven't seen Fulham yet, but Everton actually looked all right. So it's like, okay, yeah. Maybe I struggle with the Bruno thing because of his EO, effective ownership against me, but I maybe don't want to sell him. But Mbeumo can I was planning to sell him in 3 or 4 anyway, probably, to whoever stands out.
I think the other thing, Lee, that we have to consider here is that you have got, in your team, 25 million, a quarter of your budget is invested in 3 Manchester United players who were god-awful. All 3 of them. Poor. 100%. Bruno didn't get anywhere near DEFCON. None of them did. In fact, no Manchester United player got DEFCON at all in that game.
Okay.
So that also helps to tell you about Hull.
Okay.
But the point is that you've invested a lot of money. I've got £20 million in those 2 players. Bruno, I doubted whether Bruno was worth the 12 million. We had
many were saying it. Yeah,
many were saying it. A long conversation on the Q&A this week about how is Bruno actually worth 12 million, and we both said we don't know. But for Game Week 1 and Game Week 2 against Hull and Ipswich, you have him, and then at the end of that, you reconsider. And I said I don't expect to own Bruno Fernandes for the full season, but I will have him for the 2 newly promoteds in 1 and 2. If they don't perform against Ipswich,
100%.
I'll sell them both.
100%. Anything from Hull catching your eye? Clearly not. You weren't impressed.
Ollie McBurney, I would consider. Like, if you are at a point in your team where you are... So if, for example, you've got a 5 million midfielder and you think, I'd really like Sangare, but don't have 0.5, then doing one of the 6 million forwards to Ollie McBurney, I really don't hate at all. Ollie McBurney, he's involved. He's going to get points. Over the course of this season, he will get goals. He will get assists. Would I invest in a Hull defender? No, I don't think so. I don't think there's anyone else that I would really buy. But Ollie McBurney, I did like the look of.
I for sure will be having a look at how Mendy performs over the next couple of weeks.
Well, he went off, didn't he? So again, you got to watch that.
So have a look at that. But I thought it was just great. I just thought it was a brilliant performance. I know it's Hull, but I don't even know how much he is actually. But if he's 4.0, he's 4.0. Okay, great. Maybe he's my 4.0 then.
Maybe.
Like, threat from set pieces was really good. Listen, I'm gonna be early wildcard in probably
You're
4, 5, 6.
You're more keen on Hull than I am, it seems. After
that performance, yeah, 100%. Am I going to go diving in, ripping up my team for McBurney and Mendy? No. But am I going to be watching them a bit closer over the next 2 weeks? Yeah, for sure.
I think, in the same way that I just said, I don't think you can judge Coventry yet because of how good Arsenal was.
Okay.
I don't think you can judge Hull yet because of how bad Man United were.
Which is saying something, isn't it? Because we all thought we'd be sitting there going, well, United have won 2-0, but you can't judge them because it's Hull. We're all saying, well, we can't judge Hull because it was Man United.
Yeah, well, no, not because it was Man United, but because they were so badly.
Yeah, I get it. We understand you thought United were bad. We understand.
They were really
bad.
Right,
let's move it on. Let's talk about you lot.
Oh, we were really bad as well. Let's go for that.
Let's talk about bad. Brentford 3, Spurs 0. What the bloody hell happened here?
Well, I think multiple things happened here. I think one, Brentford were good. So let's start with some good things from this game. Brentford played really well.
Yes.
I tell you what, and I knew it anyway, that's why he's in my team, but that Sangari kid is excellent.
That Sangari kid, like he's some unknown.
Mamadou. Mamadou? Is that the right one? Yeah, that's the right one. He is excellent. He's everywhere, and he's doing all the things, and he's putting balls through, and he's creating opportunities for other people, but also for himself. He's still working hard defensively as well. By the way, he didn't have to do a lot of defending because we were so damn awful. But he was very, very good. But the thing with him is that he's 5.5 million. So I benched him this week. That's a problem.
Many did, don't worry.
But I do also feel, and I said to Max, because Max, bless him, was fuming, wasn't he? He's like, oh, I've got this guy on my bench. And I said to him, dude, yeah, I know, I feel your pain. I've got him on my bench. But the point is you've got him. And he will be popular.
I tell you what surprised me about him was, I think my expectation of watching him was that he's going to come in and do all the dirty work. He's going to be the DEFCON guy, isn't he? So if he gets the DEFCON, I'm like, yeah, okay, great.
Yeah,
but to pull out 2 assists, and he did score in pre-season, so
did.
Perhaps we shouldn't be that surprised about this. But I haven't looked at any heat maps. I expect his heat map will show him in a more advanced position than I thought he was going to be. Quite frankly, I wasn't expecting it.
But I also think, again, that was partly, and we'll talk about Spurs in a minute, but that's quite partly because of how god-awful Spurs were.
Right.
When I was watching Max play football this morning, one of the other parents came over to me and she said, I got home and I saw the score and she thought, here come my Thiago points. And I said, yeah, that was unexpected. And that was the thing that I thought, if Brentford do score in this one, and I thought that they probably would, that Thiago would be involved in it.
Of course. Yeah, of course.
Because of what he did last season and because he's 8 million and all of that jazz. So if you are a Thiago owner, I mean, obviously he misses the pen, which he's not going to do every week, but you are unlucky in this one. I think
thoughts and prayers for Thiago and Kinski owners, because you're expected to get some points from that situation.
Oh, yeah.
Aren't you?
There's no save and there's no goal.
You just get minus. It's very sad.
It's not ideal for either. So, yeah, a bit disappointing if you're a Thiago owner. But the Brentford team, look, I mean, if you had one of the defenders, they've done really well in this one as well. They've racked up points well.
I thought I will give Spurs one little bit of praise. I thought they actually played Thiago quite well. I thought I thought defensively you actually did a pretty good job on Thiago. But what you did was a lot of the time double up on him and left so much space for all the others.
Well, let's talk about Spurs because so there were a couple of when the team sheet came out, it was exactly how I thought it would be. Exactly the starting 11 I thought it would be. Because that was the team that we played against Hoffenheim, and I think I said on last week's live stream, I felt like the ones that played in the second game behind closed doors against Hoffenheim, they clearly weren't ready. They clearly weren't ready to start, which is fine. So he starts the team that started against Hoffenheim. The major difference is what happened in the centre of midfield. Because last week against Hoffenheim, Tonali and Bergvall were outstanding. The pair of them together, they were brilliant. Bergvall was progressing the ball forward. Tonali was doing all the sweeping up. It was great. Bergvall clearly forgot to have his Weetabix.
He had a very difficult game, Bergvall, if I'm being kind. Yeah.
You've been really kind there.
Yeah.
I'm going to say it as kindly as I can. He should have been hauled at 30 minutes. And the only reason I think he wasn't hauled at 30 minutes is because I don't think Matheus Fernandes had 70 minutes in his legs.
Yeah.
So I think that's why he left Bergvall on. And I think it was the same for Bentancur as well, if you'd have wanted to go that way.
Mm-hmm.
But it meant that the midfield, every time Bergvall got the ball, he lost it. Or it never got progressed to Richarlison. And that was a massive issue because Richarlison's just getting frustrated and falling over every 5 minutes, but he's not getting the ball. And the ball's just getting stuck in midfield and then coming back at the defence. Now, that's fine if your defence is defending, except a lot of the time we'd be progressing with the ball. So Robbo on one side would have gone. And at times that meant that we just didn't have the defensive line to back up when the ball broke back on us because they'd win the ball from Bergvall and it would come back again.
Yeah.
It was a bit of a nightmare. The positives I take from it are this. One, next week Pedro Porro will be back. So he'll be starting at right back. That will help massively because Archie Gray, I love my future son-in-law apparently dearly. Evie loves him. However, he's not a right back.
No.
And he doesn't...
People in the chat saying Gray had a difficult... Of course he did.
He's not a right
back.
He's not a right back. He can't...
He had a difficult game against Hoffenheim as well, actually.
Absolutely. That because they realised that was our weakest side and that's where they came down because he's not a right back. But it also made our attack really lopsided because he's not going to progress the ball in the way that Pedro Porro would and he's not going to overlap Mikey Moore or underlap Mikey Moore. He just doesn't do that because he's not a right back. When Pedro Porro's back next week, that will be better. Obviously, we've also made they've not been officially announced yet, but we've made 2 further signings this weekend. One at
Happy?
Yes, because I know that you often say positive things about Tell. I don't have anything positive to say about Tell. That's the nicest thing I can say. He's not good enough. He hasn't been good enough for 2 years now, but we are in a position where he's the only available player on the left-hand side that we have to start in the game. Yeah. And he's not good enough. So when you've got Savinho in that position, that strengthens the attack. And on the other side, there is apparently a chance that Kudus might be available for next week, or if not, at least the week after.
Mm-hmm. So do you think that having Savinho and Kudus there just changes it? You're just the team then? Because
I don't think it does straight away.
Because I think there's much more of a fundamental problem. So at the minute it feels like Spurs are quite one-dimensional. It feels like De Zerbi's got a plan. That's good because neither Tudor or Frank had much of a plan. So good, he's got a plan. And the plan is get it wide, get it to the really quick players, they beat a man and we get it into our forward as quickly as possible.
Yeah.
Okay, great. What if the team that you're playing against, so like Brentford did, force the ball back in, so double up on the wingers and force the ball back into the midfield where you have no creativity, haven't for 2 years. Until, interestingly, James Maddison come on, who I thought did pretty good. You desperately need him to stay fit, right? Desperately need him to stay fit. And when Savinho and Kudus are there, particularly Kudus, I don't know about Savinho, time will tell with him. I think you've overpaid for him. But Kudus, for sure, we've seen it. Brilliant, right? And when you get the ball to him, he can beat a man. So on that side, I get it. And Mikey Moore, good for the future, right? But a difficult game at the weekend. But I think Spurs are going to become quite quickly really easy to play against because you just force them back into the middle and it's done.
But I don't think that's true. Okay. I think at the moment we have to play one-dimensionally because we haven't got any creative players in the middle.
But Sam...
Just listen. Because we haven't. Because we've been... At the beginning of the summer, we were going to sell Lucas Bergvall. Okay. And there's a reason why we haven't.
Okay.
Because at the moment, he's the only one that is available to play alongside Tonali for 90 minutes. Maddison's not fully fit. Bentancur's not fully fit. Matheus Fernandes isn't fully fit. All of these players, Kulusevski's obviously still out. All of these players that you would have as your creative engine in that midfield could not start the game. Okay. What we did see is when Maddison came on, there was a change. We were a lot better and we weren't going out down the wings all the time. We were coming back in the middle and going along. Okay. So I think what we'll find is that when And it should only be a matter of a week or two, hopefully a week next weekend for the wingers, and hopefully within the next, by game week 3 certainly, with Madders, we should then have an attacking player in the middle, 2 proper wingers.
Yeah, you should have.
But they are fit now. Most of them. Madison's he's just getting his match fitness back.
I think last season you can use that. This season, you've spent nearly 300 million. And you're saying we still haven't got
we have
a creative player in the midfield that's fully fit, ready to go.
We have.
I'm just saying, listen, look, I'm not going to have any more Spurs opinion. But last season, you can say stuff like that. This season, after spending 300 million, that's going to be the narrative. I'm sorry, but that is going to be the narrative.
But you can't sit there and say we're going to be one-dimensional the whole season and that'll get old quickly, because we won't.
Okay.
You're in a position where you're playing players that you want to sell this summer because you haven't got 90 minutes in the rest of them yet. But that doesn't mean that by game week 2 or by game week 3, you won't have that.
Okay. I'm just saying, and please just take this in the way that I've meant it. Please don't get angry with it. I'm just saying.
I'm not getting angry with it.
After spending the money you've spent, after you've spent the money you've spent, if what I think is going to happen, which is plan A doesn't always work for De Zerbi, it's going to become real pressure real quickly on him because you've spent a lot of money.
I don't agree.
And what's going to happen is, as we've seen with De Zerbi, club after club after club, is when it comes under a bit of pressure and he doesn't like it, he upsets somebody.
I don't agree, because we've got, at the moment, yes, we are having to play with one plan strategy. And with Brentford, they quickly worked out how to beat that strategy, and they did it very, very well.
Yeah, and it's just one game. Like
but
George
it's
is right.
One game.
It's one game.
And we haven't, like... I think you're... If we were going to play the whole season with Lucas Bergvall in that position, it's a problem.
Sure. Yeah,
but it's not a problem. The question you asked that you then didn't let me answer is, are Savinho and Kuda's coming back going to make the world of difference? Yes, of course they are, because they're way better than Tell and Mikey Moore. Same was Porro being there.
Okay, I hope you're right. I hope you're right. I just think it's systemically
right.
You need a bit of a plan B. And one of the other thing is I can't, like Brentford, teams like, we've spent so much money last season, you've spent so much money this season. Brentford just like, yeah, we'll go and get Sangare. No one else is looking at this guy, and he's come in, and not only is he creative, he's got the DEFCONs and stuff. I'm just like, that's the sort of player we'd love a player like that. You'd love a player like that. Yet we don't seem to, both our clubs don't seem to be able to buy the right players over the last time will tell.
I don't think you can say that about Spurs yet, because we've just bought them. They're not played yet.
Okay. All right. Anyway, from a Brentford perspective then, are you looking at anybody? Let's have a look at the...
I've got Sangare. Maybe I'm being stubborn.
Leeds up next, then Sunderland at home, Bournemouth, Chelsea and Villa after that. Don't look bad.
No, but the Leeds defence was very good this weekend.
It's a bit tough game for them,
them to be. So that's going to be a tough game. They've got to go away to Leeds as well. So it's a tough game. I'm not expecting them to score loads and loads of goals in that one, because I do think Leeds are good. So I think we have an opportunity with Brentford. If I was you, I'd be looking at away for Sangare.
Yeah, for sure.
I have him already.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I kind of look at my team and I think, well, look, I've got Sangare in. It's Leeds up next. I'm not entirely sure how that will go, because Brentford were very good. I was very impressed, but I was also impressed by Leeds. So let's let that one play. And then for 3, that also gives us an indication of where Sunderland are, because I was not that impressed by Sunderland. So let's see where they are. And maybe then I look at another route into Brentford. Maybe it's a defender, it's a Coyote or somebody like that to add to the mix. Maybe I'm in need of another midfielder. Or if Dominic Calvert-Lewin doesn't buck his ideas up, then maybe I'm looking at, can I shift some money out of Bruno or Mbomo and upgrade him? But right now, I've got Sangare. I'm happy with just him.
Yeah, and you're right. I need to find a way to get him in, no doubt. Based on one performance, but, probably do.
But it's been a couple of performances now, if you include Frankfurt as well.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, very impressed with him. Very, very impressed with him. Brighton 4, Villa 0. I don't think we're going to have time to go through all these games tonight, but we're going to try and cover as much as we can of the key games. Was I shocked by this? Well, yeah, I think we have to say yes. I mean, going into the season, I thought Brighton would be pretty good defensively. I thought they had their act together. I know they've lost some key players at the back, including Van Heeg, but I thought they'd be reasonable. But I thought they'd struggle in attack.
Yeah.
I think from even when we went down to Brighton to see Az and Yels, speaking to Az about it, he was like, well, Jorginho Ruter's not really good enough. And where else, without Welbeck there, where's the focal point, etc., etc. Az for sure did call out a couple, like he has absolutely called out Hinshelwood a few times, right?
Yeah, but last season as well, he did.
Yeah.
He was good.
Yeah, I think he's... I think after the Barco stuff and other things, I think he's a bit reluctant to call stuff out. But when he's just with us, he's just like, Hinshelwood is awesome. And I probably should have listened to him a bit closer. But
for me is that with Brentford, like, you've got the cheapest one in Gomez, right?
In Brighton, you mean? You said Brentford. Brighton.
Sorry, Brighton. Yeah, you've got the cheapest one.
I got Gomez, yeah.
And I think that was the thing with Hinshelwood, is that it wasn't necessarily that I was put off Hinshelwood, because I know he's good. He was good at the end of last season. It was that you got two midfielders there in Gross and in Gomez that are cheaper. And so picking a more expensive Brighton player, when we're expecting Brighton to be solid defensively but not so good in attack, doesn't feel great.
Yeah.
So I was happy to have Verbruggen, and I was happy to start Verbruggen because I thought they might clean sheet. But I had Brighton down as like winning this 1-0. I thought they'd win the game, which is why I played Verbruggen. But I didn't expect them to absolutely smash up Villa in the way that they did.
Especially like the 4 goals come in the first half, didn't they? I mean, more or less.
33 minutes,
Absolutely insane. And I know that Gomez gets sent off then for Villa, so it's more or less game over. And I wonder almost, I need to watch the highlights. We were out, didn't we? We didn't watch this game. I do want to watch the highlights on Match of the Day. I do wonder whether Brighton, I think Helen's in the chat, with some other Brighton fans in there. Let us know. Did the foot come off the pedal a little bit in the second half? Because they've got another game against Tromsø, haven't they? In Europe on Thursday.
It was a draw the last one.
0-0 last time out, so they've got to win that. Which I think that they will. They're at home. So maybe they were sort of, and that's a bit of a damning indictment for Villa, isn't it? Maybe they sort of were preserving themselves a little bit, Brighton. I don't know.
Well, yeah, but also, like, you've only got to listen to... I was reading you chunks of the Emery press conference, wasn't I, that he did after the game. They're asking him about Ollie Watkins, and he's like, well, that's a conversation for Ollie Watkins' agent.
Yeah, what was the thing about the silence? You see that?
Yeah, I think my silence says it all, he said. And you go and have a conversation with Ollie Watkins' agents. And so you've got that happening and playing out. You've got the fact that on deadline day, on Friday, Ezri Konsa makes his move to Arsenal, which...
Yeah,
I mean, if you're a Villa fan, this is a disaster, isn't it? Because this season, so this summer, you've lost Luca Dean to PSG, you've lost Morgan Rogers to Chelsea, you've lost Yuri Tielemans to Manchester United, you've now lost Ezri Konsa to Arsenal, and now Ollie Watkins is going to go somewhere. Remains to be seen where.
I mean, he's definitely going, isn't he?
But he's going somewhere.
He's got to go.
But that's 3 of those 4 that have already gone have gone to Premier League rivals.
And did I see they basically playing Buendia up front today, weren't they? I mean, like it's like, nice player, quite like him, but he's not a focal point striker, is he? In the same way like a Watkins is.
It's an absolute nightmare for them. And so that disruption, the Konsa thing, the Watkins thing, this is all happening 2 days before your first game of the season, away at Brighton, who we know are good. And so what preparation have they got? Like, we haven't watched it, but they were not... This is bad. And then
do you think Emery walks out, or do you think he's...
No, I don't think he does, because...
We've had this before with him, and he's turned it around. Like, do you remember when the whole, like, Martinez shit was kicking off, and he was just like, Bizot, wasn't he? He had that whole interview where he just went, Marco Bizot. And we all thought, he's lost the plot. But... Yeah, beginning of last season, they lost 6 in a row without scoring a goal, and he turned it around and they finished third. Like it's not impossible. He turns it around,
and the window's not closed. They could go out, but the thing is, they need to go and buy some people now. Like they've got Madja, the kid who can play up top, and I tell you what, if he ends up being all right, then he could be a bargain in FPL at 5.5, especially if he gets settled.
Feels like he's more of a focal point than old Buendia. I mean.
Yeah, but maybe it was... I think Madja had a slight knock, didn't he, coming out of the last pre-season friendly.
Oh, George is actually... Good point, George. They've got Suzuki, I think, now as well in goal, right? So Martinez is probably going to leave.
He's probably going as well. Yeah, so they've got... It's all changed a bit. I feel like they've all of a sudden gone into massive transition. Like, it's like all the players are going, maybe slightly unexpectedly, because their buyout clauses were so low. Like, Luca Dean's was 10 million. His buyout clause. Yuri Tielemans was 30 mil. It feels like a bargain now, all these players going.
So we're not getting any Villa players. I think that's the fact.
We are targeting Villa now, Lee.
That's the question I was going to ask, yeah.
We have to be. And it's Arsenal next.
Mm.
I mean, given what Arsenal did to Coventry, I don't feel like I could have enough Arsenal players to play against Villa.
Yeah, correct. You feel like you're on the right Brighton guy? You've got Pascal Gross, right?
No, I've only got Verbruggen.
Just Verbruggen, okay. And if you were going to buy a Brighton player, I'm going to bring their fixtures up. I've not really looked at their fixtures going forward because I've kind of stuck little Gomez in there and just left him. Chelsea away next, then Leeds, Coventry, Arsenal at home, Sunderland. So I think we'd call that mixed, wouldn't we? Not that we've seen Chelsea yet, but I think we'd call that mixed.
I think the two I can't keep going back to it, but the two Manchester United slots, the Bruno slot, the Mbomo slot, those two are up for grabs. The other three, the Sangari slot, the Szoboszlai slot, the Tzolis slot, they're locked. They can't go anywhere.
Yeah.
So I've got the two Manchester United players. When it comes to the point where I can sell them post Ipswich, then I will look. And I think we're in a position with Brighton where I kind of feel like I might have missed the big opportunity.
Yeah. Which none of us thought was going to be a big opportunity.
No, exactly. And I don't regret my decision not to get a Brighton guy because I've got the ones that I have across the midfield. So it's fine. And I got Verbruggen, so we're okay with that.
All right.
But yeah.
Very good. All right, let's move it on. A couple more games I want to cover. Our game. So, the game we've just watched, Newcastle 2, Liverpool 2. As usual, I have some thoughts. What do you think?
Would you like to go first, or?
I don't mind. I can go first.
Go on, you be negative, and then I'll bring some positives.
Listen, I was talking intermittently in the Slack when I was sort of watching the game, and there was quite a lot of, Liverpool bad. And look, I'm not saying we're good, but there were some patterns of play today. There was some intensity in periods that, trust me, if you'd have watched us week in, week out last season and watched how bad it was, there were some improvements today. And no, it doesn't feel like it.
No, there definitely were.
But there were some improvements versus the crap we watched last year.
There definitely were.
And that says more about how bad it was last year. So, listen, we weren't good today. But I saw some signs that made me feel better. I was going to use the word positive. I didn't feel positive about today, but I felt better about it. There's some things that worked. There's some things that didn't work. For example, it's an individual. The first goal is obviously Sky were lauding it, obviously, and I'm like, yeah, it's two really good goals. Don't get me wrong by Newcastle, but the first one, where is Gravenberch going? Where is he going? He's sort of so he comes forward. They back off. And instead of just slipping an easy ball into Szoboszlai so he can have a shot, he decides he's going to sort of pass it across the face of goal to I think either Wirtz or Kerkez or Gakpo or something. I don't know what he was doing, and just ends up giving the ball away. And then rather than thinking, oh shit, I better get back, well, frankly, he can't because he's not quick enough, and he hasn't got the turning circle. And Newcastle were away. And I remember saying to you when I saw the lineup, because we were with our friends who was also a bit like, what is this Newcastle lineup? It's all kids and youngsters. I said, yeah, but look at that front four. How quick is that front four, including Elanga? Mm-hmm. And I just thought, I've seen it in pre-season already. Remember the Leeds game where we lost 4-2? Oh my God, our midfield just went, everybody in attack. And it left such a big gap in that Leeds game between midfield and defence. I just thought, if they counter-attack on us with that pace, we're in trouble. 10 minutes in, we're in trouble because the whole midfield has gone forward. Don't take anything away from Elanga. It was a great finish. The way he roasted Kerkez,
Kerkez look really slow.
Kerkez has a look and goes, oh shit,
I can't catch up.
And before he's finished the T on shit, Elanga is past him. And listen, there is no amount of fitness that you can put into Kerkez to make him go any faster. Elanga roasted him.
But he looked slow, didn't he?
It was a really nice... Yeah, but Elanga's quick.
Yeah, I know, but that's kind of what I meant. Kerkez isn't slow, but he looked slow because Elanga was going so fast.
Correct. I mean, it was just funny. Elanga's 2 meters behind him and roasts him, right? And then he finishes it nicely in the corner. I don't think Alisson got his angles brilliant on that, but listen, good goal from Elanga. But anyway, completely avoidable. If we didn't just forward, I don't know why or what we're doing there. But okay, it can happen. It's a really nice finish from Elanga. Then we get the goal. Nice finish by Gakpo. You can't have him now, by the way, because we need him. We ain't got anybody else.
Yeah, well, we've got Savinho.
And by the way, he still scores goals, which is more than most of our midfielders.
Else, yeah.
So we need him. So sorry, can't have him. So we're keeping Gakpo. We score the goal, and I felt like at that moment the momentum in the game changed a little bit, and I was like, "Oh, okay, I feel like this could be going somewhere."
Okay.
90 seconds later, like 2 minutes later, is it Elanga again, or is it who does is it Willock? I don't know, I can't remember. But like, there's a run from halfway inside his own half by a Newcastle player through our midfield. Like,
it's Murphy, isn't it? Jacob Murphy.
No, he comes on later. I can't remember. It was something in the chat will tell me. But it's like it was unbelievable the amount of tackles that we did not see in that moment. Right? Someone just take a yellow card and take him out. Oh my God! Just professionally foul him and take a card. But no, straight through the midfield. Like, the way our midfield was played through and over today was a worry. Let me tell you, a worry. So, that's the second goal was completely avoidable. It took the sting out of everything that we were trying to do. And in the end, we get not lucky with the penalty. It is a penalty, and we get something out of a potential. We've rescued a point. Rescued is probably a good. We've rescued a point. So there was a lot to be negative about, I thought, in our midfield today. But I passed, knife through butter, no one tackling. We need a CDM badly, right? Okay. So that's all the negatives out of the way. One more. Wirtz hooked. I actually see that as a positive. Not if you've got him in FPL, it's not positive, because now you're thinking about what you want to do with him. But I like the fact that Iraola, unlike Slot, who would leave him on and hope for the best, Iraola was like, "Well, you've been shit. I'll bring you off." And he was. He was no good. He's one of those players that should have taken a booking, but didn't on the second goal. And Iraola's like, "Nope, you've been bad. Come off." Now, so that I saw as a positive, because I'm like, Iraola doesn't care about this guy's reputation. He's off if he's not good enough. And there was a camera pan to him, and he looked a little bit sad on the bench. I'm like, yeah. Good. Mate, pull your finger out. Like, I'm willing to give Isak a bit of the benefit of the doubt because of his injuries last season. Wirtz has had time. Now he's got to perform now, Wirtz. And he didn't, so it was crap.
But I also feel like Isak, it was going to go one way or another today because of the history.
Yeah.
He was either going to be brilliant or terrible, and that was going to be the way it was.
Yeah.
And he wasn't terrible, but he wasn't great.
Yeah. Okay.
There's a lot of I think you've been okay. Let me bring some positives in. Because actually, I thought there were a lot of good performances today in that Liverpool team.
Okay, go on.
I thought there were a lot of moments where Newcastle were really good, but I also thought there were moments where there were really good things from Liverpool. I thought when Munoz came on, he was absolutely brilliant. I thought he changed the game down that side.
Munoz was a highlight, actually. Yeah, I did think he was good. He was tricky.
He came on, he was tricky.
Give some energy to the team. I liked it.
He was happy to have a go and try stuff. And if he lost it, he would go and try and get it back again. And I think that kind of commitment is really good in that Liverpool team because we didn't have that last year. Yeah. That was missing. So having that available there, I thought was good. I thought the defensive performances, there were some that were all right. Like, I actually thought that Xhaka didn't have a bad first game there.
He can pass the ball, that kid, by the way.
He can pass the ball well.
Very good.
I thought, actually, the one player that was the biggest issue for you today was Gravenberch.
Yeah, he's a problem. Yeah.
And if Gravenberch had been...
But he's not a 6. We need to get this in our heads. He's not a 6.
Correct. But also, he doesn't look... Last year, Liverpool didn't look fit. And you saw it in the train, and you heard it from Virgil. Virgil would say, no one's working hard enough. Like, you heard him say it. Today, I watched that Liverpool game, and I thought, they look faster. They look fitter. There's effort there. They're playing all right. They're stringing together attacks. I thought overall it looked like a much, much better Liverpool performance than we'd seen. I've watched them a lot, obviously, because I watched with you. I thought it was a much better performance than we'd seen.
What do you think of Isak?
I thought it was hard for him today. But I thought it was always going to be hard because of it was going back to St James's Park. There was all the Kevin Keegan stuff before the game, which obviously would have had an impact on him as well. I thought Newcastle defence, particularly Lewis Hall, was outstanding. They did a really good job. And I think part of the problem was that
What about the way that we set up, though? Because I have some thoughts about how our team and the personnel within it is not good for Isak.
Well, you weren't getting the ball to him in the right positions. I personally didn't think.
No, absolutely not.
You were progressing the ball in different ways, and then you get there, and then you'd be like, "Oh, I can't get it in the box," and then it get recycled back again.
Final third decision making was utter shit today. Utter shit. And the problem, one of the issues we've got is that our wingers. So Rio on the right, I don't like at all.
No, but he should be on the left.
He's left. Don't put him on the right. He didn't look comfortable there at all. Lewis Hall did a very good job. Right, that's the first thing to say. Very good job. But Rio's left, right? So we're putting him on the right because we ain't got anybody else.
But you have with Munoz now.
Maybe, once he's fit. Fine, get him in there. And Gakpo on the left, he just wants to shoot. Every time he just wants to shoot. So you've got Rio, who's kind of out of position. You've got Gakpo, who just wants to shoot. Those two got to be two of the main, if not the main line of or source of creativity for Isak. Mm-hmm. And Isak just was. You're right. We didn't get the ball to him. We got balls in the area where you'd want Isak to be, and we were in those areas, and then they just didn't know what to do. Some of the decision making in the final third was terrible. What do you make of the penalty and the lack of Isak involvement? What do you make of that?
Yeah, but I said to you, I'm not sure we can really judge this one, and I'm going to be interested to listen to the post-match interviews carefully when they talk about, because somebody in some post-match interview is going to ask Isak, why did you not take it? Or they're going to ask Dom, why did you take it? Now, my suspicion is...
Well, I saw the Dominic Szoboszlai interview.
Oh, did you? What did he say?
I've been practicing them all. What do you think he's going to say? I've been practicing them all pre-season. I felt confident in my own ability. I was really happy to get the goal to help the team get a point.
So I wondered if one of them... Because I think it's a little bit like... Do you remember when Arteta said, we see who feels good on the day?
Right.
I wonder whether at Liverpool there's a little bit of that. There's a little bit of, we'll see who feels confident on the day. And I also wonder whether there was a little bit today of, if there's a penalty, Dom, you take it because of where we are. I don't think we can read into it that Dom Szoboszlai's on penalties, is what I'm saying.
I'd agree with that.
I'm glad he took it. I take the points, that's lovely. But I'm not certain that if you got another one next week, that we definitely see Szoboszlai on it.
I think Isak bottled it.
Do you? Or do you think...
I would have liked to have seen my number 9, my £120 million number 9, step up in that situation and go, this is me. I'll have this, and I'm going to shut this crowd up.
Oh, but that's a big.
I agree. I agree, because if he misses it, he's finished. Isn't he?
Because given the game he'd had, he'd not really been involved, not really had a sniff.
Yeah.
And then he's got to stand in front of the Newcastle fans and slot that home.
Yep. But a confident player, imagine a Cristiano Ronaldo or something like that, right? They'd have been like, I'm going to take this. They'd slot it home and then they'd give it that, wouldn't they? Cut the ears to the crowd, give it all of that, chat.
Or some of them just go,
But what Isak's done is Isak's gone...
But is that because he wasn't fully fit last season and he's not...
I don't know, Sam. He's just played 90 minutes.
Yeah, but is he confident?
Well, maybe not. But so anyway, look, I think he bottled it. Szoboszlai, I agree with you. I don't think we can legit sit here and say, well, that's him on pens then. But one thing I will say is,
it was good.
In that environment, in the 96th minute out of 94, for him to slot that top corner
it was very good.
On his side, by the way, because Sky showed a graphic of where he puts his penalties, always left. Goalkeeper's right. Players left. Always sits it to the left.
And the keeper went the right way.
Keeper went the right way. Top binned it. Absolutely brilliant penalty.
Yeah, no stopping that.
So next time Liverpool get a penalty, as a Liverpool fan, who would I like to step up and take that penalty? I'd like Big Dom to take it. Thanks very much.
Well, so would I. I've got him in my FPL team.
So I'm not saying, this is not me saying Szoboszlai's on penalties. What I'm saying, though, is I would like him to be. And I think there's a pretty good chance he is.
So that probably leads us into a nice conversation between Szoboszlai and Wirtz quickly before we change games. Because obviously that was a very big conversation heading into game week 1.
Yep.
Because you had Wirtz is in the 10, he's playing with Isak, blah, 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 blah. Dom Szoboszlai is on set pieces, all of that jazz. Today was exactly why I picked Szoboszlai in my FPL team over Wirtz.
Yep.
Because I watched Wirtz.
He's involved. He could have scored first half.
He was involved.
Not for a good save. Yeah,
he could have scored in the first half.
Didn't have a good game, though.
But he did not have a good game. And being in the number 10, didn't make him have a good game. Like, just because he's in the number 10 doesn't automatically mean he's going to be suddenly really clinical with his finishing, because we didn't see that last season. He played a lot of minutes last season.
And if that 60-minute substitution has told us anything, is that Iraola is not tolerating it. Like that. So when he came off, notice Maka went in the 6, and he put Gravenberch in a position where he can't do any fucking damage. So that was good. Alongside Szoboszlai, because we needed the goal and he's pushing forwards. And Maka's in the 6, he pushes Szoboszlai into the 10. So if I'm a Wirtz owner, listen, he'll start next game, Wirtz, for sure, right? But if we don't start seeing him getting his finger out his arse and start putting in some performances, because the other thing is, like, his pressing wasn't great.
No.
And his tackling was non-existent. Now, he's not alone in that. But in that position, you do need someone to press and to tackle and to know when to press.
And to get the ball to your number 9.
Yeah. All of that. And he didn't do any of that.
No.
So if I'm Iraola, I'm looking at that and I'm going, well, you were crap. I'll haul you at 60. I don't think this is going to happen, but you could see it. Maka's right there.
It's right there.
Maka's right there. And whether you put Grav in the 6 or Maka in the 6, putting Szoboszlai in the 10
works.
It's absolutely fine.
Yeah. And the thing with Szoboszlai is, and we saw it during the course of this game, and were it not for some really good Newcastle defending, we would have seen some joy from set pieces from Liverpool today. But Newcastle defended actually quite well during this game for large chunks of it.
Yeah.
So Szoboszlai's set piece threat was absolutely there. There's now a penalty already scored by him. Whether it means more or not, we will find out.
Okay.
But he won, definitely, round 1 of Szoboszlai versus Wirtz, both in performances and FPL points.
No doubt. All right, that's plenty on Liverpool. Last game before we move it on, Sam. I want to talk about the City game. So City 2, Bournemouth 1. Bournemouth leading 1-0 for obviously large chunks of this game up until about 6 minutes to go. When Maresca makes a couple of changes, one of which was to bring on Ryan Cherky. Some much needed creativity. I thought as they were really lacking that, Manchester City.
Yeah.
And he comes on, he gets 2 assists, one from a corner, admittedly, but listen,
that's why you pick piece takers.
And he picked out Gahey, so you can't moan about that, right? I know a bit unmarked, but listen, he put the ball on a sixpence for Gahey there to hit that in.
Yep.
And then the second goal, like, there's about 5 or 6 Bournemouth players around him, and he threads it through to Vardio, and it was a very nice finish from Vardio, by the way. So if you've got him, congrats. I don't know what to make of Cherky. He's just such an enigma to me, right? There's clearly something, and we've been watching the Pep documentary. If you've not watched the Pep Guardiola, what's it called? Something about...
I don't know.
I can't remember exactly what it's called, but you'll know it, guys. If you're in the UK, and even if you're not, I think you can watch it. It's on Prime Video. It's a Pep Guardiola documentary. And in episode 1 of that documentary, there's a whole meeting of all the top bods at City where they're talking about who we're going to sign that summer. And Cherky comes up in conversation, and they're like, yeah, his stats are this and his stats are that, and he's this goals, that goals, that goals. And there's a couple around the table that just go, yeah, but his attitude's not quite... We're a bit worried about him from that perspective. And then they play this kind of voicemail between... Begsterian, I think, who was the kind of sports director before, and then the new guy, God, dear me, terrible with names, just been watching it. Anyway, the new guy, is it Almeida? Don't know. The Portuguese guy. And the voicemail basically says, yeah, we like this player, but has he got the right persona, the right character? And there is definitely that about him, Cherky. Like, he is a nutter. There's no doubt he's a nutter. But boy, can this kid play. He really can. And I think if they carry on going through this season, a bit like you guys, they are putting, and we know this, Maresca is going to put a lot of focus on the wingers, with no Doku there, and Semenyo on the left, and then somebody on the right who's not really a pacey winger. Are they a bit unbalanced, which I mentioned on Ohan on Thursday? I think they did look a bit unbalanced without Doku there. Then they're going to be forced into the middle. And you're going to need some creativity, just in the way that you need Maddison. They need someone like a Cherky in there, I think.
Because Foden won it.
Wasn't it today? No, absolutely.
So,
Viana, thank you, guys. You're right. That's the guy.
I thought they were terrible until they scored the goal. And when they scored the goal, I said to you, they're going to win the game.
Yeah.
Because that is muscle memory with City. Regardless of who's in the touchline, the muscle memory kicks in. We've scored a goal, we go again. I agree with you on Cherky. I suspect we might see Cherky start in the next one because he made
a difference.
He made a massive difference. He was the creative engine that they needed. Phil Foden, I know that Maresca said he's a pillar. I had him in my FPL team for quite a while because he said he's a pillar. But I watched him play in the Community Shield and I wasn't impressed. He wasn't creative. He wasn't doing the things that you would want him to do. And then again today, I didn't... He just didn't look good. And...
Oh, that's a good catch. So, the comment from the chat by Cod Sunny. Thank you for the comment. Foden went straight down the tunnel.
He did go straight down the tunnel. Now,
didn't spot that.
And they made a comment in commentary about, Foden doesn't look very happy. And as they said it, they caught him stomping off down the tunnel.
Yeah.
And I thought at the time, I was like, that's an attitude. Like, you're just saying about Cherky and then questioning his attitude. Maybe that was a little bit of an insight into why Phil Foden would be praised by Pep and then all of a sudden dropped unceremoniously.
Praised by Maresca, you mean? The pillar comment?
No, under Pep in the past.
Oh, right.
Pep
okay.
would praise him, wouldn't he? And then within a week he'd get dropped and we'd all go, what the hell's happened?
That's what Pep's trying to get a reaction out of him, and that's maybe what Maresca was doing with the pillars. Was like, I believe in you, I want you to play.
Yeah.
And now we've had back-to-back pretty mere performances, right?
And now we've seen some attitude because you've stomped off down the tunnel. Now Cherky got the opposite. He's come on, he's performed well. So I thought it was not a good City performance today.
Yeah,
it really
sure
wasn't. It wasn't a good City performance. I thought they were lackluster.
Haaland?
I thought, has he cut off his magic hair?
I thought on another day he gets his goal. I think. If you said to me now, look, Lee, you have to sell Bruno or Haaland, I'd be selling Bruno. I think.
Oh, I would.
Like,
too.
I think I'm not saying I've not got any concerns because he's 15.5 million. Of course, I've got concerns when he doesn't. And I captained him this week as well, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have no concerns, but I don't have no concerns. That makes sense.
Yeah, no, it does make sense.
But like on another day, he gets his goal. I think he had chances.
I think also we didn't see the best of Manchester City today until Cherky came on, and then we started to see glimpses of it.
Yeah.
I think over the next few weeks we'll see City kick into gear, and we'll see better performances as we head into the next couple of games.
Do you think Cherky's an option in FPL?
I wouldn't go there now. I would wait for game week because my current plan, and it has been before the season started, was Bruno and Mbeumo for 1 and 2. 3, Manchester City have Coventry. One of those two to a Manchester City midfielder in 3, even if it's just for 1 week, feels good. Now, if we get a good performance from Cherky in 2, then he'll probably be the one that I look at. Because I did think they looked significantly better. Oh, hello. I've just thrown all 3 of my rings.
I think with Cherky, it's going to become quite clear, maybe quite quickly, that his creativity in the middle is quite key to the way that Maresca wants to play. And I'm not sure whether he trusts him yet. I don't know how hard he works in training, stuff like that. Maybe he's a bit...
I think after the performances today, it feels like he should trust him with the starting 2.
Yeah. But Bournemouth, for their part, right? Impressed, right? Very, very impressed. I think...
Were you expecting it?
Listen, if there's one thing you'd say about Bournemouth is, it's not the first time they'd have lost a manager or key players going into a new season. They're just a really well-run club. Like, I don't know much about the new manager, but I'm already starting to like the style. I like what I saw. Obviously, Tav gets the goal and Evan Nilsson gets the assist, so it's kind of the same old FPL assets that we're used to. I thought James Hill could have done a bit better on the Vardy goal. Could he have got up slightly quicker and caught him offside? Maybe, but
that's harsh.
I'm picking holes. Yeah. I'm picking holes in it a little bit. So, yeah, listen, I was impressed. I thought City would do the business here. No issue. But now they're going into a game, if I remember rightly, game week 2 was a little bit trickier for them. Palace away. Before then, that Coventry at home in game week 3.
Palace looked terrible.
So from that perspective, if you've got any City, I think you're fine. Even with Haaland's fine. I thought O'Reilly was really good. Like on another day, O'Reilly gets some points. Really? Okay.
I thought they weren't very good at all until Cherky came on, and then there were moments.
Okay. All right, that's all we're going to do on the game, Sam. There's other games to cover, but we're an hour and a half in. Like, can you tell FPL's back? Flipping it. And before we get to our teams, we'd like to discuss with you guys the Shine Night Walk 2026 in London. You've done this for the last couple of years, but this year, I'm going to do it too.
Yeah, so
talk us through it.
This year we are doing this alongside Lee's brother, who may or may not be in the chat. And we are hoping to raise lots of money for cancer research, which is a charity that's especially close to our hearts now. So we're doing this in memory of Lee and Craig's dad. So if you can afford to, and if you would like to, we are going to be spending the night of the 19th of September walking the streets of London in memory of my lovely father-in-law. So it is not an easy task. I know a lot of you have done this yourselves as well over the last couple of years. It is blimmin' difficult. It happens overnight, and it takes in all the landmarks of London. It basically walks everywhere you can possibly imagine. I'm not looking forward to it, I can't lie. It is really hard, and I'm hoping for better weather. If you remember the last time I did it, you
got soaked, didn't you?
It was horrendous because the weather was terrible. But we will be posting on my Instagram stories through the night like I did last year or 2 years ago. So for those of you that were in Australia, honestly, last time you kept me going because you were replying to my stories and it was great. So I'll be doing that again this year. But I will have Lee and Craig with me. So yeah, if you can, we would really appreciate any donations, big or small. They just will go a long way in helping us to try and get rid of this horrible disease.
Yeah, so for those of you that are in the Patreon that I'm closer to, you'll know this. So my dad passed away August 16th last year. So it's been just over a year. We had the anniversary a couple of days ago. Tough year, not gonna lie. Been a tough year, no doubt about it. It's been the year of all the firsts, right? It's the first time it was his birthday, the first time we had Christmas without him, the first time it was my birthday, my brother's birthday, the kids' birthdays. Like it, for anyone that's lost a parent, you'll know it's been a really hard year. Don't mind telling you. So anything that I can do, we can do, anything that you guys would like to do. Look, no pressure whatsoever, right? But anything that you would like to do to help us kick cancer in the ass. We would love you to help to do that. It was pancreatic cancer. It was probably the hardest 2 or 3 months of my life, to be honest with you. The hardest 2 or 3 months of my life. It was really, really tough. He got stage 4 pancreatic cancer in like the June and was told probably got a maximum of about a year to live. And then passed away on August the 16th, like a few weeks later.
Yeah.
And watching that decline, watching what the cancer did to him was... Yeah, just those of you that have had parents or other loved ones that have gone through it, it was just the hardest thing I've ever had to go through. So anything that I can do to help with this cause, I'm absolutely going to do it. And this is something that I can do, something that we can do together, something that my brother will want to do as well.
Yeah.
I think you and I, we go to the gym, we're reasonably fit.
I
don't think my brother's going to get through it at all. I don't know how he's going to do it.
I don't think, and we had this conversation the other day. So as you all know, from the last time I did this 2 years ago, and I did it with, so Nigel the Crab, I randomly found him at the start line. I was doing it with my friend, Jen, and we randomly met Nigel on the start line, and we did it, the three of us together. And honestly, I cried a lot walking around that. It was so difficult. I actually don't know how I survived it, as in like how I got over the finish line. I can't tell you.
Oh, my brother is in the chat. He's saying he did it. He climbed up Ben Nevis recently, by the way. So he absolutely
he's climbed Ben Nevis.
Absolutely.
I don't think
Craig.
appreciate how hard this is going to be. I think Craig gets it because he's done Ben Nevis recently and part of training. I've done it before. I know it's a bloody nightmare. We are going to take our time. Lee seems to think we're going to run around it in no time at all, and it's all going to be sunshine and roses.
Gentle jog, no?
I suspect he also said to me at one point, "I'm worried you might be too slow for me." Yeah, I'll be going slow because I tell you what,
Awkward.
It's the only way I can finish it.
Awkward.
But it is going to be a real challenge. It is a really, really difficult thing to do. So we would really appreciate your support because it is a charity that is really close to our hearts, as you can tell from what Lee just said, and it has been a really, really difficult year. So if we can do something and make something positive come out of this by raising lots of money for charity, then that will go a long way to helping us find some kind of solace that we've done our bit and we're doing some good stuff. And I know that your dad would be really proud of the three of us for getting through it, and not just getting through it, but for doing it together. So the fact that the three of us will do it together and somehow we'll drag each other
We will.
From the start until the finish line, and then
we will
probably get some chips on the way home.
It's a fact. Absolute fact. All right, thank you very much for listening to us to talk about that. Let's get on, Sam, with our team. So this is how I got on this week. Here we go. So
you bench boosted, Lee.
I bench boosted this week, yeah, which I absolutely wasn't planning to do. And then conversations with a certain Mr. Phillips, conversations with a few different people at Fest when I got there. I just thought, let's do it. Let's do it. I didn't have high expectations for it. But then, as Az quite rightly said, when do we ever have high expectations for bench boost? But it's turned out actually all right. It's actually turned out all right. So my team for the podcasters is Verbruggen in goal with 6, Robertson with the 3 because he got defensive contributions, Calafiori 9, Maguire 1, Bruno 2, Mbeumo 2, Szoboszlai 8, Ødegaard 11, Haaland captain 4, Calvert-Lewin 1, João Pedro still to play. And then my bench was Kinski 2, Gomez, as in the Brighton Gomez, 6, Roden 6, and Diop 2. And if it wasn't for an absolute banger of a free kick that Ipswich conceded, maybe Diop might have got the clean sheet as well. But either way, that makes 63 points in total, with João Pedro still to go. For what it's worth, the rank is 129k. Good start, okay. But, I mean, it's the bench boost, isn't it? So bloody should have been, to be honest with you. What issues have I got in my team going forward? I think we've mentioned them all, right? I mean, bench boost in double Spurs defence was always going to be a bit of a shaky one. But it's the Man United players that have let me down, no doubt about it. Bruno, Mbeumo and Maguire combining for, 5 altogether?
Yeah, I mean,
pretty
we're not
crap,
really
isn't
that
it?
unhappy about your 2 4.5s. That's fine. One got a save point,
That can happen.
one got a death
can
one.
happen.
That's okay.
Yeah.
I think the disappointment is that you spent 15.5 million on Haaland and he's blanked, and you've spent 25 million on 3 Manchester Uniteds, and they've all blanked.
Correct, yeah. DCL is what he is. I'll keep him for a bit, but eyes on him a little bit. But yeah, now it's a case of, well, are we selling United ahead of Ipswich at home? Well, absolutely not. I think it'd be mad, right? So I've got to stick with M3. And if I look at my team for next week, which looks a bit like this...
Have I got all the right players? You've not moaned that I got any other players wrong.
All the images look pretty good at the minute, Sam. Yes. They look pretty good at the minute.
If I've made 6 of these and not made a player mistake, I'll be so proud of myself.
Yeah, looks good. So there's my 3. So Maguire and Mbeumo and Bruno are still there. Notice that, and this might be a bit kind of, emotional knee-jerky coming towards the end of a weekend of football, but at the minute, I don't have Bruno Fernandes as captain in my team right now against Ipswich at home. It might change. At the minute, I have it on Ødegaard.
So we had a conversation about this when we were watching the TV earlier, because you said, I don't know how I feel about that. I think I might captain Ødegaard because Villa have been so bad in this one. And I said, I don't think I can bring myself to captain Tzolis.
But why? Tzolis and Ødegaard against that Villa back. Why?
You're totally right. But it's because he's 6.5.
Yeah.
If Tzolis and Ødegaard
we want to do
8.
Bruno and Haaland, don't we?
Yeah. If Tzolis was 8.5... I absolutely would have gone, oh yeah, captain him. If it was Saka price, I would, or I had Saka.
It's the reassuringly expensive, isn't it?
100%.
I think that's going to be a real topic of conversation this week.
Yeah.
Arsenal players, and let's face it, it's one of them 3, isn't it? It's Tzolis, Ødegaard, and, well, I mean, you could go a defender, of course you could. Going against Bruno, Ipswich, for all of those that have gone for Bruno in game week 1, one of the main reasons for doing it is you want him captain game week 2 home to Ipswich, don't you? That's one of the reasons I've got him.
Yeah.
But at the minute, I don't feel like doing it based on what I've seen so far this weekend. So anyway, things might change, of course. But that's my team. I am going to try and get through game week 2 without transfer. I'm going to try and roll that because I would like to be able to go into game week 3. City have got Coventry. I might want to do something about Mbeumo by then. I know that Sangare is going to be plus 0.1 or plus 0.2 by then because that's the way the markets are to start with in this game. But one of the things I'm going to try and do more this season is prioritise information, particularly at the beginning when it's such carnage, information and certainty as much as we can have certainty in FPL over price rises. I'm going to try not, as best I can,
no knee jerk,
to let not that knee jerk. That's going to be a very difficult thing to do. But yeah, that's what I'm currently thinking. Your team, though, for this week, let's have a look. No chip played, so no bench boost chip. Wish you'd played it. Because there's Sangare sitting there with, 14 on the bench. quite insane. Talk us through the team.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't see a Sangari 14-pointer, and the rest of the bench did what I thought they might do, which is not a lot.
Yeah.
So I was never even close to playing it. So it is what it is with Sangari. The rest of them, though, it's funny, isn't it? Because I'm not that upset, apart from with the big hitters. So, like, Verbruggen, 6 points, lovely. Calafiori, great. Roden, lovely, thank you very much. Tzolis and Szoboszlai, very happy with them. Bruno Mbeumo, Dominic Calvert-Lewin and Haaland. I can't help but feel...
But Calvert-Lewin's 6, that's fine. It's kind of okay, isn't it? But the others, no.
6, but I upgraded Ollie McBurney to Dominic Calvert-Lewin. So I can't help but feel like I've gone for Dominic Calvert-Lewin through fear. Let's be real.
Yeah.
That's a fear pick. It's a coverage thing. I wanted to deal with the fact that he was popular.
Yep.
So yeah, but it's a 45. What I'm most annoyed about is that I wasn't brave, and I'm frustrated in myself for not being brave. I'm actually happy. I'm happy with the start. I'm in a decent spot. I've not.
That's a good start. 1-6 is fine.
I've not
fine.
Tanked it. The people ahead of me. A lot of people like yourself have played the bench boost chip. I'm happy. The game week has started solid, but I am. And I tell you what, if João Pedro scores tomorrow night...
Well, yeah, you were saying that at Fest. And on the way to Sky on Friday morning, you were saying I fancy a João Pedro captain.
On Friday, I moved my captain's armband 5 times. And every time, I moved it off Haaland and João Pedro. And then within about... And at one point, it stayed there for about 3 hours. And I just bottled it because I just kept looking at it and thinking, I can't... It was last summer. It was Gameweek 1 last year where it went all horribly wrong, and I just thought I mentally can't do it.
Okay, fine.
So I played.
He might not get anything, João Pedro,
and he might not get anything, but I am
disappointed
in myself for not being braver.
And what are you thinking for next week? Then you do have the captaincy current on Bruno, which is the sensible thing to do.
Yeah, it's not the brave thing. The brave thing to do is to put it on Tzolis. But because he's cheap, I don't know how I feel about that. I'd quite like my team for next week. Mm-hmm. It's not bad. I'm happy to roll with it. No plans for transfers as long as João Pedro doesn't get injured tomorrow night.
Sangari bench again?
Well, the problem I'm going to have with Sangari is...
He's your 5th.
He's my 8th.
Yeah, okay.
So I did look at it and go, all right, what am I expecting? Because obviously Sangari and Dominic Calvert-Lewin are in the same game. So... Which one of them?
That's a call. You've got to make a call there.
Yeah, I do have to make a call.
People are saying bench Bruno in the
chat. Maybe.
Wow.
But I can't bench Bruno.
Wow, game week 2 and here we are.
Imagine. So yeah, I need to make a decision with Sangari and probably Calvert-Lewin because it's that game. I've already benched Roden because I do expect Brentford to score.
Okay.
Okay. But yeah, I'm quite kind of
see how it goes, but planning to roll.
Yeah.
Okay.
Planning
all right. Well, in the chat, Sam, I can tell you that they are very happy to see our teams. They like to see how we got on, but really,
no, but something bad happened, Lee.
They don't really care how we got on. What they want to see is how Harry the cat got on. And you've now got to sit here, Sam, and explain why you've completely sabotaged Harry the cat's team. Talk people through how you've done the cat over. You've done him dirty. How is this poor cat supposed to be an elite manager like FPL Harry when he's got you sabotaging his team? Just tell people what you did, Sam.
Okay, right.
Tell people.
So on Friday lunchtime, the guys in the Slack...
And make it quick because we're on an hour 45. It's ridiculous.
On Friday lunchtime, the guys in the Slack very kindly pointed out, and they all tagged me, atted me, Sam, you need to deal with Ollie Watkins because he's going to go. So you can't have Ollie Whiskins in his team. Fine. So I thought, right, what am I doing? So I pondered for ages and I was like, I'll get Dominic Calvert-Lewin into his team.
Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Okay. Sure.
Right. So Dominic Calvert-Lewin.
And you're going to use the money that you saved.
No. Listen.
Go on. All right, I'm listening.
But they only had 4 Leeds players. So I thought, oh God, what do I do? And then I remembered how Lee last week in this stream got really excited about Declan Mice.
Declan Mice is brilliant, by the way.
So I thought...
Whoever that was last week, that's genius.
So I thought, I know what I'd do. I'll take Anton Scratch out.
Anton Scratch out of the team.
And I'll put in Declan Mice.
Oh, my God. Anton Stack out for
Anton
Declan
Stack
Rice.
with the goal a clean sheet point,
Sabotage.
3 bonus points, and DEFCON, by the way.
The poor cat is sitting on 22 points.
Harry, I've stitched you up,
because
buddy.
you've stitched him up in game week 1.
Well, Ollie Whiskin stitched him up.
Anton Stack, when that free kick went in, you went, oh my God. You were just like, oh no.
I also played the wrong goalkeeper.
Yes, you have, yeah.
Actually, it doesn't look like I changed the goalkeepers. There you are. I have my first mistake in the pictures.
Oh, there you go, yeah. So who did you actually play? Roofs?
Yeah.
And not Trafford?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
I played Roofs because I thought they had a more chance of a clean sheet against Ipswich than Trafford did.
But he has still got Cole Palmer and Meow Pedro still to play. Meow Pedro captain, by the way.
And also, Pedro Porro didn't play, so he's getting a couple more points.
Pedro who?
Sorry, Pedro Porro.
Pedro Porro didn't play.
So he is still getting some extra points coming off the bench from Enzo Lefebvre. Oh, no, he won't.
No.
It'll be Malo Gusto.
Malo Gusto's going to play.
So we have 3...
Treble Chelsea's got still to go.
So actually, he could still win FPL.
Imagine if he got Stack and he was at sort of like 40 odd points with treble Chelsea to go. That'd be quite good, actually. Low key, quite good. And you played the right keeper.
I know. He could have been on for a flyer.
He could be beating FPL Harry, but as it is, you've completely messed him up.
I haven't done it on purpose, my Harry cat.
Completely messed him up. What is that? I can't believe I'm saying this sentence. What's the Cat's bus team for next week? This is ridiculous.
I'm playing
Fernandes as bus team captain, sure.
Well, he's got to pick that still. He's refused to come down for treats today because we had a house full of people. He doesn't like people, Harry. So he hasn't come down yet. So I will...
FPL Harry or the cat, just to be clear? The cat.
Well, I think Harry likes people.
Okay,
FPL
good.
Harry cat, not the most sociable of cats.
Okay.
So yeah, when he comes down, I get him to eat some treats and he'll pick a captain himself.
Good.
But yeah,
okay.
it's set up pretty much as it was last week. Hopefully Pedro Perlo will be back for him.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, very good. That is the Cats bus team for next week for anyone that's interested. A quick update on our mini leagues, which we can do now because the FPL are doing everything live and it seems to be working all quite live. It's quite nice. So what I've done is we've got a few different mini leagues on the go. We've got the FPL family one where the code is in the description below. That's a kind of come one, come all, right? That's whoever you are, welcome to the league. And there's thousands of people in that, right? Then we've obviously got our Manager of the Month ones, which
I don't do that in there.
But I don't do that here. I do that offline. And that's on our the updates in the Slack for the patrons specifically. But what I've also done is we also do this one, which is a random, proper FPL mini league for our patron supporters.
All of our patrons are
at any tier. So this isn't the Manager of the Month, although it will give some indication on who's doing well in Manager of the Month. But if you're a patron, you can get in this league. So I just want to call out a couple of people that are doing very, very well indeed. So there is Rido right at the top. So Rido with 76 points, very nice indeed. And then Kendall in with 71. Nick, who's a former Manager of the Month, very, very good FPL manager, Nick Penwarden, in with 71. Charles Herring's in at 70. Karan is in with 70 as well, and so is David. And then we've got Andrew in at 66, Alan Stevens in at 66, Rory's in at 65, and then Louise in with 65 as well. So listen, that is the top. I think I did try to do top 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, there's the top 10.
Can I ask a question?
In the Patron League right now.
Is FPL Harry Cat able to join this?
Probably, but he won't show up on the graphic because you keep sabotaging his team. Taking Anton Stack out of his team.
Well, I was just thinking if I had taken Anton Stack out and I'd played Trafford, he'd be up there.
So we'll track this as we go through the season. If you want to join us on Patreon, patreon.com/FPL family, all the links in the description below. Anyone in any of the paid tiers, Slack, Manager Month, Zoom or All In, as long as you're at the paid tiers, you can get access to this code. And we'll give you a shout if you're doing well, right? If we're doing well. And this is not going to be like reset every month like Manager Month is. This is going to be a season-long thing. So we're going to track who does well. But at the moment, Rido, Kendall, and Nick, 1, 2, and 3. So very, very good, guys. Great start. Really, really great start. That is it, Sam, I think, for tonight's FPL family. We're so back. I mean, we are back.
We're not.
What do you mean until we're not?
Well, we're not here next week.
That's a fact. We are back this week, but we are now on a plane to Malta on Tuesday. So we will not be around this time next week. So game week 2, you'd have to go watch, I don't know, Above Average FPL or something else on the other channel because...
We will still put out Ohana this week.
Oh, we can do that? Yeah, we are.
We'll still put out Ohana. It'll probably come a bit early because we'll probably record it after the Chelsea game tomorrow so that you have got Ohana as usual. So wherever you get, if you are a patron... head over and get Ohana, and you can listen to that as normal. I am also going to edit I recorded a vlog on Friday, basically going through deadlines. So we took it to Sky and Fest and all of that. So I'm going to edit that tomorrow. When I get 5 minutes, and I'll put that out in the week. So there will be something on our channel. It just won't be this.
Yeah. And there's a few patrons in the live chat saying, I'm not in the patron league. Guys, I can help you with that. I'm not going to read the league code out in here, because then we'll have all the YouTubers that are not patrons, and I want to make it patron specific. So I'm not going to read the code out here, but the code will be I'll get it in the Slack. Okay.
Am I even in it? Yeah, I am in it.
I think you are in there. I will put it in the Slack, and I'll put it behind a paywall thing on Patreon itself. So if you're a paid member at Patreon, you can get into that and you can get the code. But I'm not going to say it out publicly. And if you are a patron, you do get the code. Please don't put it out there publicly. Otherwise, what's the point? It's then not an exclusive patron league. It's just a league.
We also do have an FPL family league that's available for everybody.
Yeah, we do.
If you aren't a patron, you can join that one. But if you are a patron, look out for the code in the Slack.
Very good. Very good. All right, that is it for tonight, Sam. An hour and 52. We've gone on way too long. We didn't even cover the games. Can you tell that FPL is back? Can you tell? Listen, good luck to anybody that's got João Pedro. If you've got Miaulo Gusto. If you've got Carl Perma, or any of these guys in tomorrow's game, good luck. That's it for tonight. Like, subscribe. Thank you for tuning in to the first, not the first, we've done a few different live streams, but this is the first real one when we've had some football action to discuss. I'm going to go and watch Match Today to catch up on the games that weren't shown on TV, and to watch Dominic Szoboszlai's penalty again. We're not here next Sunday because we're on holiday. We'll see you in 2 weeks' time when we'll look back at Game Week 3 and figure out what the hell we're going to do with our Manchester United assets. Cheers, guys. Like, subscribe. See you next time.
Bye, guys.